Hey guys, what's going on? Post-draft of the 2011 season. Just kind of wanted to do a recap of the draft, kind of see who the winners and losers were. Um, kind of get a little momentum going into the season that starts Thursday. We got some matchups got some players going Thursday. So I just kind of want to give a rundown of the rosters, kind of give some insight to who I think won and lost the draft. So I'll just start, just no specific order. There's Brock. No specific order on who I'm calling out here, just kind of going in the order. Love Sam Adams. Anyway, going in the order on who drafted. So, first we'll go with Windy City Lovin'. I think this is a good team to watch for. Maybe a suspect number 2 running back with Cedric Benson. Dez Bryant I think is going to have a breakout, so him at the flex position is a good choice. He's got Calvin Johnson, Mike Wallace. Chris Johnson leading the way. I think this is a good team overall. Got a lot of good bench running backs. Just in case somebody gets hurt. I don't think he's going to play him too much, maybe in that number 2 slot, but a lot of those running backs probably going to go to waste because he's not going to start him with Chris Johnson and Dez Bryant in the flex. But a good team overall. Team Daniels, which is Eric, good draft. He's got Schaub and Foster leading the way. Beanie Wells is kind of suspect at number 2. Santonio Holmes at the flex, I'm not sure about, but he has 2 stud receivers in Greg Jennings and Reggie Wayne. He hopes Peyton Manning gets well. I fucking hope Peyton Manning gets better. Pretty good team. Jimmy Graham at the tight end. He's hoping, he connects with Drew Brees a lot. Bench is okay. I see Eric as a middle-of-the-road team, but you never know. There's some upside there. The champ, Nico Bevatore, another fucking awesome draft. It's hard to argue with, Breeze, Rice, Moreno, Mike Williams at the flex, Fitzgerald at the number 1, Colston number 2 receiver, Dallas Clark at the tight end. Bench is questionable. That's the one thing I'm not sure about Nico's team, but starting roster pretty solid. Kiss My Ash, Ashley drafted really well, number 1 pick, got Adrian Peterson, smart pick there. Peyton Hillis, if he can repeat, that is a great number 2 running back. LeGarrette Blount, awesome at the flex. Receivers are very questionable with Macklin and Manningham. Manningham's pretty good pick there at the number 2 receiver, but receivers, like I said, are questionable. Jermichael Finley, I really like at the tight end. Defense and kicker, yeah, they're intermixed, but she's got some good ones. Bench is pretty good. She's got some top, with Malcolm Floyd and Pierre Thomas there at the top bench positions. She could be pretty good, so watch for her. Let me see her O-face with Aaron Strulinski. First year in the league. I really like his, top few picks, kind of dwindled at the end. Bench is really questionable, but I dig his starting few with Tom Brady, Jamal Charles, Matt Forte was a good pick. Picked him right before me, you fuck. But Javid Best at the flex. Brandon Lloyd, probably more of a number 2 receiver this year. He's got him as his number 1. Steve Smith at the number 2. I do like this team. We'll see what happens. Looks like he might have a decent year. The regulators, Jabby, took Mike Vick with his first round pick. Guy's projected to have a ton of points again. Had a pretty stud year last year, so we'll see how that plays out. Number 2 running back, I'm not sure with Ryan Grant with the injury. See how that plays out. Wes Welker is a number 2. He's pretty, he's pretty solid. Gates, he's what you're getting from Gates. He's a stud. I like some of Jabby's top bench spots with Fred Jackson, Mike Tolbert, Sidney Rice. He's got some good bench players, but some of those starters are questionable, so we'll see what we get from Jabby. Bolingbrook Blue Ballers from John. John got some really good picks, 2 stud running backs with Michael Turner and Rashard Mendenhall. I really like what he did. He's got Ahmad Bradshaw at the flex. That's another good pick. Dwayne Bowe, another solid number 1. Steve Johnson, we're going to see what we get from him as his number 2. He was, emerged last year. We'll see what happens with Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing him the ball. Matt Ryan, we'll see if he can break into that elite top 5 level. I like John's team. John's team is really good. He's got some decent bench guys. A lot of receiver heavy, not a lot of running backs on this team. So we'll see if he can, make it with what he's got. But I like his team a lot. Probably one of the best drafted teams in the league, maybe next to Nico's, right in there. So we'll see what we get from John. Possibly seeing him as, maybe a dark horse in his division. So we'll see what happens. Titletown USA with Jared. He auto-picked like his first 4, but still pretty solid. He's got Aaron Rodgers. He's got Andre Johnson, Hakeem Nicks. 2 stud receivers right there. His running backs are very questionable. D'Angelo Williams, tough year last year, but, you know, he was a stud the year before. Sean Green, we'll see if he has his breakout year like everyone's projecting. You know, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, New England running backs are so hard to predict, but guy had over 1,000 yards and like 12 TDs last year, so we'll see what happens. Going to Team Badasses with Mike Scott. Mike always has questionable drafts, but I really like this one. He's got 3 stud running backs: Maurice Jones-Drew, Steven Jackson, Darren McFadden. I mean, all those guys were like in the top 12 last year, so we'll see how that plays out. Ben Roethlisberger, great quarterback. Miles Austin, an awesome #1 receiver. I really like him this year. I mean, Rob Gronkowski, I mean, what the fuck you thinking, Mike? You know, there's a lot of good tight ends available at that point, but, you know, you never know what can happen. Those New England tight ends shift like no other. Really like Mike's bench. I think he's got one of the best benches in the league with Austin Collie, Marshawn Lynch, Jay Cutler, Braylon Edwards. I mean, he's got a deep bench, so, you know, he'll be able to play some matchups. You know, so I like Mike's team. I'm honestly surprised with the quality of teams this year. There's not like a lopsided shitty team or a crazy good team. I mean, I think you know, in terms of talent, the draft is pretty well spread out. There's a lot of decent teams. On to my team's the last one. You know, I'll be honest with you, I don't like my team. It takes a lot to admit that you don't like your draft and how you drafted was shitty. You know, took LaShawn McCoy first, Roddy White second. I like my receivers with Roddy White, Vincent Jackson, but after that it gets questionable. There's a lot of guys that got good upside, like Felix Jones and Ryan Matthews. I took Peyton Manning, which, as I fucking drafted him, breaking news was he needs to be reevaluated, so I'm glad that I fucking drafted him. So I got Josh Freeman to back him up, but it's going to be a rough year for me, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be about a middle-of-the-road team unless, you know, Ryan Matthews and Felix Jones break out. Questionable. I like my bench though with Harvin, Green. Running backs are questionable. James Starks, he's gonna have to, of course, have Ryan Grant, you know, get fucking injured or something. But other than that, my team's okay. Middle of the road. I'm not saying my team's one of the best drafted teams. There's a lot of better teams out there. Nico's team was drafted well. John's team was drafted well. You know, like I said, Aaron's team is pretty good. Ashley's team is good. You know, Brock drafted really well. So there's a lot of good teams out there, guys. There's plenty of potential for pretty much anyone to emerge here. So season's long, you know, 13-week season. You know, it's going to be fun to watch. Thursday starts the matchup. We got the Packers versus the Falcons. Good game to watch there. You know, not only good football, but actual good fantasy matchups, too. 2 good defenses going against a lot of offensive firepower. You got Roddy White, Aaron Rodgers, you know, Michael Turner's going, Greg Jennings, Jermichael Finley, just tons of talent in that one. So it should be a shootout, hopefully, you know, fantasy-wise. A lot of fun to see a lot of points scored. You know, make some comments, you know, comment on the matchups, vote on the polls. You know, hopefully this league is very interactive. I think the draft was a great turnout. We had 8 guys show up. I know Jared wasn't able to get on until late. John was there the whole draft. It was a really good time. I had a blast at the draft. B-Dubs is very accommodating with everything. But if you guys have any questions, make a post. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Like I said, I've been drinking, so I can just talk. There's a pause button for a reason. So, you know, go ahead and write some comments. Maybe who you think was the best drafted team. Who you think is going to be a shit team. You know, do what you want. This is a fun league. We're going to have fun with it. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and post it. But I'll be making another video blog probably within the next couple days, breaking down the matchups a little bit more from week 1. You know, really getting in-depth with them, who I think is going to win, maybe some point totals involved as well. So hopefully you guys had a good time at the draft, and that's about it. So, like I said, look forward to another draft. Another video blog. Another video blog probably within the next couple days. Alright, guys. Later.